making barbecue meatballs. It is a 2-day lab. So on day 1, we're actually going to be prepping our meatballs. In this bowl right here, I'm going to start by putting my ground beef. And then I'm going to add all of the ingredients that are going to not only give it flavor, but also help it kind of stick together. So in this, I'm going to add 1 egg. And I'm just going to squeeze this out of a bag. Obviously, you guys will be grabbing this fresh out of the refrigerator on the day of. I'm also going to be adding salt and pepper for a little bit of seasoning. This is crushed breadcrumbs. These are going to help hold it together while also giving it some flavor. And the last thing is these French fried onions. Now these are really, really yummy. There are some bigger pieces in here, so I'm going to crush them up just because I want to be able to get all of that flavor throughout all of my meatballs. And then I'm going to add this in as the last thing. I'm going to use my hands and mix it all together, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so in my bowl I went ahead and mixed all those ingredients together so I have some really flavorful meat here. And I'm going to use my portion scoop to make sure that all my meatballs are the same size. This is really important because we want to make sure that they're all going to be baking the exact same, as well as making sure that if I was going to buy these and somebody else was going to buy these, they're all getting the same exact portion for the cost that it is. So we're going to make sure we're getting all of these on the plate, and then I'm going to show you guys right before I put them in the oven. Alright, so we're on day 2. I went ahead and put my meatballs onto a pan, and I'm going to pop these in the oven, and then we'll make our barbecue sauce. My meatballs are baking in the oven, and I'm going to go back to my table and prep my sauce. So I'm going to start by adding all my dry ingredients, and I've got lots here. My first one is going to be brown sugar. I have dried mustard, and this is a really interesting flavor. I've got some cayenne pepper for a little bit of heat. I've got salt, garlic powder, paprika, and black pepper. And then to this I also have some liquid ingredients that I'm going to add as well, and that's going to give it your barbecue sauce texture. I've got a little bit of water here. This is molasses, and molasses is really interesting because this is actually what gives regular granulated sugar that brown sugar flavor and coloring. So I'm going to add this molasses in, and it's quite sticky, and it's got a really thick texture. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of the bag here, but I want all that goodness in there. So I'm going to squeeze it all out as best as I can. I've got ketchup. This is Worcestershire sauce. And my last ingredient is very acidic, and that is going to be lemon juice. And we're going to mix this all together. And once our meatballs are done, we're going to top this as our barbecue sauce, and they will be barbecue meatballs. I'll show you what they look like. Alright, so I took my fresh meatballs out, and while those were baking in the oven, I went ahead and just simmered this on the stove for about 3 minutes, just to make sure it gets all nice and warm and bubbly. And I'm going to go ahead and add my meatballs to this. Now I think the easiest way to do this is to simply just pour all my meatballs into the sauce, so that way I'm getting all of them coated completely. I don't know if this is... I'm going to dump these all in there, like so. And go ahead and use my spoon just to toss them in that barbecue sauce. Once these are coated all together, you can separate them out for people to share.